Then as soon as they're around their buddies, they're like, wonder what kind of cologne he wears. I want to smell just like that dude, man. He lost so many sponsors, I'm thinking about bringing him over to Ron White Inc. And not because we need a new face for the company. I'd just love to have somebody around the house to fade the heat when I fuck up. Ron White, you're the most selfish prick I have ever met in my life. Tiger, get in here. You tell her what you did. Ron White, you're the finest man I have ever known. I shall fall to my bended knee and suckle your penis. Well, thank you, baby. Slow down. Watch out for those ears. My New Year's resolution this year was to lose some weight and try to get in better shape. And I was working out yesterday, and I hurt my fat. I sprained my fat roll. Everybody in my camp's on my ass about taking better care of myself. I'm like, what? My wife bought me a bicycle thinking I might ride it. It's for sale. It's a good deal, too. It's like new. It's got 750 yards on it. My wife wants me to start doing yoga with her, and I said, well, baby, I'm not that flexible. And she goes, you can bend over and touch your toes, can't you? I said, the only way I can touch my toes, somebody cuts them off and hands them to me. I can't even stand on one foot unless somebody's shining a flashlight in my eye. I thought this was funny. We were at my wife's yoga school the other day, and they have a vegan restaurant there, and my wife goes, why don't we eat here? We've never eaten here. I said, fine, let's eat here, because this dick won't suck itself. It's all about compromise, folks. And I take my tray around to all the bean sprout piles, and I get to the cash register, and my tray is empty. And the purple dreadlocked kid that runs the cash register goes, Mr. White, aren't you going to have something for lunch? And I said, there's just nothing here that I eat. And he picks up a piece of carrot cake wrapped in cellophane, and he hands it to me. He goes, try this. It's vegetarian. The carrot cake is vegetarian? Says, yeah. So you mean to tell me there's no ham in this? Because my mother makes a meat lover's carrot cake. It's got sausage, pepperoni, hamburger meat. Not really heart healthy. She serves it with a Lipitor and a stent. They have Snuggies now for dogs, and I love dogs, but if I ever see a dog wearing a Snuggie, I'm going to kill it. Because that's what I think the dog would want me to do. I think if all dogs go to heaven, Michael Vick's going to be a little nervous if he makes the cut. gonna be an awkward pause at the pearly gates. Really? They're all here? Yeah, it seems like they're waiting on you, too, man. I'm gonna slip off to hell. Tell Bin Laden I said, fuck you. We got Bin Laden, man. It took 10 years. It wasn't exactly a calf rope. He was in that house for 6 years with 5 wives. I would have shot my fucking self. I'd have had my head out the window screaming at drones, going, I'm over here! Women. We have a little French bulldog named Pearl, and the other day my wife said, I finally figured it out. That dog is jealous of me. That dog loves you so much, she can't stand it if I'm in the same room with you. And I said, oh, don't be ridiculous. And she walked into the kitchen, and when she did, Pearl jumped on my stomach and said, I can have all your babies at the same time. She's coming back, act like nothing's going on. Nothing is going on. I didn't know whether to buy more of that weed or never smoke it again. I went with A. I got busted with weed in Florida last year. Less than a gram of weed. And they took my happy ass to jail. I've been partying in Florida for years. I didn't even know they had laws. Looked to me like everybody just run amok down there. And I'll run amok with you. I will run the fuck out of amok with you. They took me to jail, man. And I'll tell you what happened. I fired these 2 pilots for being dickheads. And they were such dickheads, they started following my plane around on a software called FlightAware. And if you know the tail number, you can follow any plane in the world anywhere it goes. And then right before I landed in the town, they call the cops, tell them it's a drug place. So the cops would come fuck with me. That's pretty fucking funny. Then they were on the news in Atlanta, where I live. Both of these assholes live on the news going, Ron White is out of control. He gets drunk on his plane. He smokes pot on his plane. He has sex on his plane. I'm like, this is my plane we're talking about, right? Not like I did that shit on a Delta flight, for fuck's sake. No, my phone's off. My wife got pissed at me when I got busted with that weed, and she smokes pot. What the fuck is up with that? I come home, she goes, you smoke too much pot. I said, oh, let me get this straight. You smoked the correct amount of pot. You ever smoke so much pot your wife starts to make sense? Me either. I have this reoccurring dream that my wife gets run over by a bus. Does that make me a bad person? I'm driving the bus. Bleep, 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 bleep. Bleep, 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 bleep. Bleep, 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 bleep. She's had enough. Early last year in Florida, at SeaWorld of Florida, an animal trainer was killed by a killer whale. Huh? Turns out there's a reason they didn't name them ocean ponies. Some things are exactly as they seem, folks. Killer whales kill. Pilot whales wear dark sunglasses. I'm not sure how the sperm whale got his name, but I'm not getting in the pool. That whale got his job back. They put that whale back in the show. Now, when I first saw it on the internet, I mean, this will be world news. It wasn't even news at all. They put the whale back. This whale killed 3 people. This is a serial killer whale. And he got his job back. If that would have happened at SeaWorld of Texas, that whale would have gone straight to the fucking electric pool. And that's just a regular pool with a toaster thrown in it. People think they're expensive to make, but it's like $14. You can reuse the extension cord. People don't know that. We'll get another toaster. Ew. They busted a sushi restaurant last year in L.A. selling whale, and they fined them $200,000. And that is so fucking wrong, man. To take a 50,000-pound majestic animal and serve it up 2 tiny slices at a time. You fucking... Oh, that's good. Got any more? Shit, yeah, we do. We have a shit road. We make a big commitment. I don't know how I got caught. Maybe that 14-foot fin hanging out of the dumpster. I should have cruised the rig. Yeah. Probably should have closed the rig. I live in Atlanta half the year, and last summer in Atlanta, an idiot teenager was decapitated at a major amusement park in Atlanta on a very famous roller coaster. And now what I thought happened was he was on the ride, stood up, got his head cut off. That's not what happened. What happened was while he was on the ride, his hat flew off. And when he got off the ride, he climbed over 2 fences and went through 2 gates, telling him not to retrieve this hat, which it turns out he didn't really need after all. Wow, that story is dripping with irony, Mr. White.
Thank you, Seattle. Thank you and welcome, and thank you for a day without rain. I don't know how it happened.
I want you to know that I just got some great news that I'm excited about. I just got a development deal picked up. It's a new reality show. It's an extreme makeover show for middle-aged lesbians called This Old Bulldog. We already have a sponsor. Wolverine Steel-Toed Boots has picked it up. We had another title, but the censors nixed it. It was originally going to be called Pimp My Muff. I am staying tonight or this week at the Hotel 1000. I would like to talk for just a second about their toilets. They've got the best toilets ever, man. They're amazing. You won't even believe this if you've never seen one of these things. Number one, the seat is heated. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're used to a cold toilet seat and then you sit on a warm toilet seat, it's nice. It like relaxes your bowel muscles and kind of just helps you crap, you know. It's really nice. And then on the wall, there's some buttons, and one of them says rear cleansing and one of them says front cleansing. And there's a diagram of a guy sitting on a toilet with a stream of water shooting up his ass. So I pushed the button, and all of a sudden, I'm that guy. I am sitting on the toilet with a stream of water shooting up my ass, and it's amazing how accurate this thing is. I don't know if everybody's butthole's in the exact same place, but this thing has got me dead center. Then there's another button below that button, and it says oscillate, and I said, why not? Now I have a rotating stream of water shooting up my ass, and it was at that moment that I realized that 50 million gay men can't be wrong. I'm singing songs to this toilet. I'm in love. I honestly love you. My wife caught me spreading cake on my ass just so I could go wash it off. Is that cake? No. I gotta go to the bathroom. Don't wait up. I'm going to try to tell you this story. This happened on Tuesday. I'm going home from the PetSmart in the car with two dogs and a wife, and my wife says I got to stop at the bank, and I say shit or whatever I said. Because I don't go in the bank. Everybody knows that. I stay in the car with the dogs, and she says I'll be, 5 minutes, but there's absolutely no such thing as 5 minutes with this woman. And she goes in, and I know the dogs need to pee. And at our bank, there's one piece of manicured lawn that has two signs that both say, no dogs. So I took my dogs over there. This guy comes waddling out of the bank with a big scowl on his face, and he goes, the sign says no dogs. I said, the sign's wrong. That sign should say 2 dogs. I saw a commercial the other day, and I really don't understand the organization, and I really don't understand who they think they're ever going to help. And it was for a company called www.don'tshakeababy.com. Now, I'm not going to get up here and take a big pro-baby shaking stance, so you can go ahead and relax, Seattle. But I don't know who they're supposed to help, because if you're such an inbred meth head shithook that you would consider shaking a baby, the only thing that's going to help you is a beheading. But no. Now, I know there's people in the audience tonight going, but Ron, what if the baby's asking for it? Don't shake a baby. What if I can't find my car keys and I've looked everywhere? Yeah, even then. I went on to www.don'tshakeababy.com, and they have links to similar websites. They have a link to www.don'tstickyourdickinaToaster.com, and they have a link to www.don'tshoveaferretiniyourass.com. And there's a lot of reasons why you don't want a ferret in your ass, because they're not like gerbils. They've got fangs and claws and a lot of shit you don't need in your ass, man. I got a ferret in my ass right now. I was at the hotel on the toilet a while ago, and he popped his head out of my butt, started washing his face in that little oscillating stream of water. Is that cake? No! Certainly not cake. I got a little trouble. Did you guys hear anything about that? I'll tell you what happened. I had 2 sold-out shows in Fort Pierce, Florida, and we were going to land in Vero Beach, Florida, and I have an airplane that you guys bought me. Thank you. It's nice. It is really cool. And we land at Vero Beach, and when we land, I look out the window, and there's 3 cops standing there, and which is no big deal to me because cops love me, and so do firemen. And a lot of times I'll get a police escort from the airport to the venue, and this wasn't one of those times. I got out of the plane, and there was a cop there, and he said, "Mr. Wyatt, we've been told that there are drugs on this plane by an anonymous tip." And I said, "There are absolutely no drugs on that plane." Now, I did have a little bit of weed in my bag, but I wasn't on the plane, so technically I'm not lying to this guy. And, he goes, "Well, do you mind if we search the aircraft?" And I said, "You absolutely cannot search this aircraft unless you have probable cause, because I still have civil liberties." You know what I mean? I do. They said, "Okay, well, we just want the drug dog to walk by it a couple times." And I said, "Fine." And the drug dog walks by a couple times, and the guy goes, "Well, the dog gave us a signal that there are drugs on the plane." And I'm like, "No, he didn't. That dog didn't do anything. I was staring straight at him. He didn't wink, blink, move a paw. What's his signal, a blank stare? That's all he did." The dog says there's drugs on the plane. I'm like, "Well, I said there wasn't drugs on the plane. Who are you going to believe, me or the..." Fuck, never mind, Now, I've got a show to go to. They spend an hour and a half going through this plane. An hour and a half, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, come on." And they get finished. Of course, there is no drugs on the plane, and I knew there wasn't. And I assume now they're going to let me go, and I'll go do my show. And I was like, "Well, that's fine, whatever." And then they go, "Well, now the dog needs to sniff that bag on your shoulder." And I was like, "Ruh-roh." They found 7/8 of a gram of marijuana in my bag. Now, when I have 7/8 of a gram of marijuana, I consider myself to be out of marijuana. That is no weed. And it's medical marijuana. It was prescribed to me by a doctor in California where I live. And I told the cop that, and he said, "Well, what did you tell a doctor to get a prescription for marijuana?" And I said, "Well, the doctor said, 'Do you have any symptoms that marijuana helps alleviate?' And I said, 'Well, I get bummed when I run out of weed. Marijuana cures that.'" They handcuffed me and put me in the back of a cop car and took me to jail. Now, I'm not whining about that. I broke the law. That's fine. But fuck, this is Florida. These cops drove by 3 meth labs and a dead hooker just to get there. They processed me through County Jail. Now, for whatever reason, I had a bunch of cash on me. I'd been on the road for a while, and now they got to count it in front of me. And this guy comes over and he goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to count that money, and you're gonna have to watch." And I'm like, "Fuck, not you." This money's in banded $5,000 stacks. And he picks one of them up and he goes, "One Mississippi." Two. He didn't really say Mississippi, but he fucking could have. "Two Mississippi." And I go, "You can't do it that way. It'll take forever. Just take the band off and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you get to 50, that's 5,000. Then just start the next stack." And he goes, "That's a good idea." That's what he said. So he counts the second stack and he goes, "Hey buddy, wait a minute. There's only 42 in this one." I said, "Oh, that's okay. Just get 8 more out of this one. Put it in this one. Now you have 2 stacks of 50. That's $10,000. I'm teaching this motherfucker how to count." I was in jail for an hour and a half, and I don't know how word gets out so fast, but when I walk out of the jail, there's a big truckload of kids, and they have these signs